Welcome in, you beautiful soul. You know, the word revelation often brings to mind dramatic images of a distant final judgment. We picture skies parting, trumpets sounding a note of fearful finality. Yet this interpretation honestly misses the simple, profound truth at the word's core. Revelation is not a future cataclysm to be dreaded. It is a process happening right now in our daily lives all around the globe. It is an unveiling, a pulling back of a curtain that has long obscured our view of reality. The great revealing is not a singular event waiting at the end of a timeline. It is the very fabric of the time in which we now live, woven into every headline, every weather report, every beat of our own hearts. We are living in an era of unprecedented transparency. Secrets, both personal and systemic, are finding their way into the light with increasing frequency. It is as if the world itself has decided it can no longer hold the weight of what has been hidden. This is not a force of punishment, but one of balance and truth. Think of it as a home that has been cluttered for generations. Before it can be made beautiful and functional again, every forgotten item must be brought out from the dusty corners and dark attics. The initial chaos may seem overwhelming, but it is the necessary first step toward creating a space of clarity, peace, and renewed purpose. This is the nature of the revelation we are experiencing today. This process touches every aspect of our existence. It is in the shifting plates of our global climate and the tremors within our oldest institutions. It is in the questions we are beginning to ask ourselves about how we live, what we value, and what kind of world we wish to leave for those who will follow. The anxieties and uncertainties we feel are not signs of an impending end. Rather, they are the growing pains of a world and a species in the midst of a profound and necessary transformation. We are not merely observers of this great unveiling, we are active participants, invited to see with new eyes and to understand the deeper currents moving beneath the turbulent surface of our times. The call then is not to fear, but to pay attention. It is to look at the world's events not as a series of disconnected crises, but as related chapters in a single unfolding story. It is a story of awakening. The quiet whisper of truth is becoming a roar that can no longer be ignored. What was once accepted without question is now being examined. What was long buried is now being unearthed. This is the essence of revelation. We are being asked to witness the world as it truly is, so that we may help shape it into what it can become. When we look at our planet today, we see its struggles written in bold strokes. We witness great storms gathering strength over warming oceans, their winds and rains lashing coastlines with an unfamiliar fury. We see wildfires consuming vast tracts of ancient forests, leaving behind landscapes of ash and smoke that choke the very air we breathe. We experience waves of intense heat that bake the land, and we watch as rivers, swollen by unprecedented floods, overflow their banks and reclaim cities. It's easy to interpret these powerful events as signs of a planet in its death throes, as a form of punishment for humanity's actions. But what if we are misreading the language of our world? These dramatic climate events are not necessarily acts of retribution. Instead, they can be seen as the Earth's own powerful healing mechanisms at work. Consider a fever in the human body. It is an uncomfortable and often alarming experience, a sign that the body is under stress. Yet, the fever itself is not the illness, it is the body's intelligent and potent response to it. The elevated temperature creates an environment where pathogens cannot survive, initiating a deep and necessary cleansing process. In much the same way, the planet's rising temperatures, its powerful storms and its cleansing floods may be its way of purging imbalances and beginning a profound process of regeneration on a global scale. The Earth is a living, breathing system of immense complexity and intelligence. It has endured cycles of radical change for billions of years, long before our species ever walked its surface. The fires clear away old, decaying undergrowth, making way for new seeds to germinate in nutrient-rich soil. The floods redistribute fertile silt across depleted plains, creating new wetlands and habitats. The storms churn the oceans, bringing vital nutrients from the deep to the surface, feeding the very base of the marine food web. These are not acts of destruction, but of renewal. They are the planet's way of hitting a reset button, of initiating a transformation to restore its own equilibrium and ensure its long-term vitality. By viewing these events not as an attack on humanity, but as the Earth's own powerful act of rebalancing, we can shift our perspective from one of fear to one of reverence. We are being shown in the most undeniable of terms the consequences of imbalance. We are also being shown the incredible power of nature to heal and restore itself. These climate changes are a message, a loud and clear communication from the living world. The message is not "you are doomed." The message is change is happening. It is an invitation for us to align ourselves with this powerful current of transformation, to learn from it, and to participate in the healing of our shared home. Nature operates in immutable cycles of endings and beginnings. We see this truth etched into the very rhythm of our world. Every winter the world appears to die. The trees stand bare and skeletal, the ground freezes solid, life retreats into a deep slumber. It is a period of stillness, of darkness, of apparent cessation. Yet we do not despair, because we understand that this ending is not final. Hidden deep within the frozen earth, the barren branches, the silent work of renewal is already underway. Winter is not the death of life. It is the necessary pause that gathers the energy required for the magnificent explosion of life that is spring. This deep instinctual knowledge of cycles is something we must now apply to the larger changes we see in the world. The Earth itself has its own grand cycles, which unfold over millennia. Ice ages have advanced and retreated, carving mountains, creating great lakes. Entire ecosystems have vanished, replaced by new ones perfectly adapted to the changing conditions. The planet has experienced intense volcanic activity, asteroid impacts, dramatic shifts in its atmosphere. Each of these events would have seemed cataclysmic at the time, but were simply a turning of the page, endings that cleared the way for new forms of life, new evolutionary pathways, a new expression of the planet's creative force. The climate changes we are witnessing today, while accelerated by human activity, are part of this ancient cyclical dance of destruction and creation. What we are experiencing can be understood as a planetary scale winter. It is a time when old forms and old ways are breaking down, much like the leaves that wither and fall from the trees. This process can feel harsh and unforgiving. It can look like loss and decay. But if we hold the wisdom of the cycles, we can see it for what it truly is, a preparation. The Earth is shedding what is no longer sustainable. It is composting the old to create fertile ground for the new. The challenges we face, environmental degradation, resource depletion, are not a final verdict. They are the stark, cold reality of winter, forcing us to retreat, to reflect, and to gather our strength for the coming spring that is, by the laws of nature, inevitable. Therefore, we must learn to see beyond the immediate appearance of collapse. We are not at the edge of a cliff, but at the turning of a great wheel. The end of one age is always, without exception, the dawn of another. The turbulence and chaos are not the death rattle of a dying world, but the birth pangs of a new one. Just as the darkest hour of the night comes just before the dawn, the most intense period of our global challenges may signal that we are on the cusp of a profound renewal. Trusting in this cyclical nature of existence is an act of profound wisdom and a source of immense hope, allowing us to face the winter of our world with the quiet confidence that spring is on its way. It is not only the natural world that is undergoing a profound shake-up. The very systems humanity has built are showing deep and undeniable cracks. Our global financial structures, once seen as bedrock, now experience tremors that reveal their inherent fragility. Our healthcare systems, designed to heal, are strained to the breaking point, exposing inequalities and inefficiencies. Our technological networks, which promise to connect us, often leave us feeling more isolated and divided. From the outside, it can look as if the pillars of modern civilization are crumbling, leading to a sense of instability and fear. It appears that the world we have so carefully constructed is failing us. However, this perspective misses a crucial point. The appearance of these problems is not the failure itself. It is the revelation of failures that have long existed, hidden beneath a veneer of functionality. A system can only operate with hidden flaws for so long before the pressure becomes too great and the truth emerges. When a financial system built on unsustainable debt begins to falter, It is not a sign that the world is ending. It is a sign that the truth of that system's flawed foundation is being revealed. It is an opportunity to ask fundamental questions about what true wealth is and how we can build an economy based on genuine value and equity rather than on abstract speculation. Similarly, when a healthcare crisis exposes the fact that many people lack access to basic care, it is a painful but necessary revelation. The problem was always there. The crisis simply made it impossible to ignore. This breakdown forces a conversation that is long overdue, creating the momentum needed to redesign systems that are more compassionate, more accessible, more focused on holistic well-being rather than just profit. Every time a major corporation's unethical practices are exposed or a technological platform's misuse of data comes to light, it is not a new problem. It is an old secret being dragged into the public square. These revelations are the first essential step toward accountability and reform. Therefore, the cracks we see appearing in our global systems are not omens of doom, but openings for light. They are opportunities for breakthrough. A breakdown precedes a breakthrough, in the same way that tilling the soil precedes planting a seed. The old, compacted ground must be broken apart to allow for new growth. This process is messy, disruptive, and uncomfortable. It forces us to confront uncomfortable truths about the world we have built. But we must not mistake the discomfort of the process for the final outcome. These systemic challenges are a powerful invitation to innovate, to rebuild, to create new structures that are more resilient, more just, more aligned with a sustainable and thriving future for all. The word revelation comes from the Latin revelare, which simply means to lay bare or to unveil. It has nothing inherently to do with doom, destruction, or apocalypse. The core meaning is one of disclosure, of making known that which was previously unknown or concealed. This is precisely the process that is defining our current era. We are living through a grand unveiling where truths on every level, environmental, social, political, spiritual. The discomfort we feel is not from the truth itself, but from the shedding of the comforting illusions we have held for so long. This grand unveiling is happening on a planetary scale. For decades, scientists warned of climate change, but it remained an abstract concept for many. Now the truth of a warming planet is being revealed not through charts and graphs. Fire, flood, heat for centuries, social injustices, economic injustices. Now these injustices are being revealed with a clarity and a force that demand our attention and action. These revelations are the first essential step toward accountability and reform. The veils of distraction and denial are becoming thinner, and the raw, unvarnished truth of our world is becoming visible. This act of revealing is a fundamental force of progress. A problem cannot be solved until it is first seen and acknowledged. A wound cannot heal until it is cleaned and exposed to the air. By revealing the dysfunctions within our world, this era is not condemning us, it is empowering us. It is giving us the information we need to make new, more conscious choices. The revelation of a flawed system is a gift because it liberates us from the obligation to continue supporting it. It grants us the permission to imagine and build something better in its place. This is not a passive process, it is an active summons to participate in the act of creation. We must therefore reclaim the original meaning of revelation. We must see it not as a terrifying prophecy, but as a clarifying and ultimately hopeful process. The world is not ending. Our illusions about the world are. The structures built on falsehood are faltering, not because of some external punishment, but because their foundations can no longer support them in the bright light of revealed truth. This is a time of immense opportunity. We are being given a chance to see things as they are, without the filters of ideology or the comfort of denial. Embracing this unveiling is the first step toward consciously co-creating a world rooted not in illusion but in a deeper, more enduring reality. The great transformation we're witnessing is not only an external phenomenon, it is not just about melting ice caps and faltering institutions. The revelation is also occurring deep within us, inside our own minds, bodies, hearts. Many people are experiencing this profound shift in intensely personal ways. It may manifest as unexplained physical ailments, chronic fatigue, heightened sensitivities, the body's way of processing the immense energetic shifts happening on the planet. Our physical forms are recalibrating, attempting to adapt to a new frequency. And this process of upgrading our biological hardware can be exhausting and disorienting. On a mental and emotional level, this transformation can be even more challenging. Waves of anxiety, grief, a sense of existential dread are becoming increasingly common. These feelings are not necessarily a sign of personal psychological failure. Instead, they can be understood as the collective psyche purging old fears, ancestral traumas, limiting belief systems that have held humanity in a state of separation and conflict for millennia. We are feeling the death of an old world within our own emotional bodies. The fear is real, but it is the fear associated with letting go of the known. It is the natural apprehension a caterpillar might feel just before dissolving into the chrysalis, trusting in a process it cannot possibly comprehend. Yet, alongside this clearing of old heavy energies, something new and beautiful is awakening. Hearts are opening. There is a growing sense of empathy, a deepening desire for authentic connection, and a yearning for purpose that transcends material success. People are questioning the old paradigms of competition and endless growth, seeking instead a life of meaning, community, harmony with the natural world. This is the awakening heart, the part of us that remembers our interconnectedness with all of life. This inner revelation is just as significant as the external one. It is the human spirit beginning to align with the planet's own shift toward a higher state of balance and consciousness. The key to navigating this personal metamorphosis is to learn to trust the process. It is to understand that the fear and confusion are temporary symptoms of a deep and positive transformation. Instead of resisting the discomfort, we can learn to meet it with compassion and curiosity, asking what it is here to teach us. We can support our bodies with rest and nourishment, and our minds with stillness and presence. By doing so, we shift from being victims of a chaotic time to being conscious participants in our own evolution. We are not breaking down, we are breaking open. We are shedding the limitations of an old identity to make way for a more expanded, more compassionate, more authentic version of ourselves. In every story of creation, there is an element of chaos, a moment where the old form must dissolve completely before the new one can emerge. Every ending is not just a precursor to a beginning, it is an integral part of it. The seed must crack and surrender its form to become a sprout. The star must collapse to scatter the elements that will form new worlds. We are living in such a moment now, a great global recalibration. It is a time when the operating system of our world is being upgraded, and the turbulence we feel is the system rebooting. It is essential that we do not mistake this profound and necessary process for a final catastrophic failure. This recalibration is a movement toward light, not a descent into permanent darkness. The purpose of revealing what is broken is not to condemn it, but to heal it. The purpose of showing us the consequences of our actions is not to punish us, but to educate us, so that we may choose a wiser path forward. Environmental, social, personal are part of a divine and intelligent process designed to nudge humanity back into alignment with the laws of nature and the wisdom of the heart. We are being shaken awake, not shaken to pieces. The foundations are trembling so that we might build upon a stronger, more truthful ground. The fear we feel is understandable, for we are standing at the threshold between two worlds. The old world, with its familiar structures and certainties, is fading. The new world has not yet fully taken form. We are in the in-between, the sacred and uncertain space of becoming. In this space, our greatest task is to hold on to hope and to cultivate trust. We must trust in the resilience of the earth. We must trust in the goodness of the human heart. And we must trust that there is a larger intelligence at work, guiding this entire process toward an outcome of greater beauty, harmony, and connection than we can currently imagine. We are not being destroyed, we are being prepared. Stripped of our illusions, cleansed of our imbalances, emptied of what no longer serves the journey ahead. This is not an ending. This is the final, dusty hour before the dawn. It is the quiet clearing of the stage before the curtain rises on a new and brighter act for humanity. Our role is to stand in the darkness with courage, to hold the light for one another, and to be ready to greet the coming day with open hearts and willing hands. The world is not ending, it is being reborn, and we are fortunate enough to be here to witness and to help build the dawn. In the comments below, drop a green heart for the heart chakra. Your heart's energy centers color. Stay grounded, beautiful souls. Like and subscribe for more.